How you doing this afternoon?
Good.
Good deal. Give me your name, where you're from, your drug of choice, and how long you've been in sobriety.
Daniel Gilbert, born in Lynchburg, Virginia. Many different drugs of choice, but I would say meth most recently. And I've been sober just over 3.5 years.
Amen. All right, I'm going to ask you a few questions. What was your life like before recovery?
Everywhere, just chaotic, hectic, nothing constant, consistent, just crime, violence, just some of the worst stuff that I guess you could imagine. But just, I mean, there were spurts of goodness in it, but it's just completely like a heartbeat. 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down.
Amen. That was well said. What moment made you realize you needed change?
Uh, well, I've been incarcerated many times, but this last go around, I came here for an interview and was still getting high in the county jail. And Gerald gave me a little bit of he gave me a chance, especially from being out of state, that I wouldn't take off and run. And I was accepted. I didn't have to take a drug test that day. I think God had His hand in that, but I made a conscious decision that day that this was it. It was fight or flight, and I've ran all my life. So time to fight.
What was the hardest part of beginning your recovery journey?
Sitting still, it seemed like I had tasks, had things to do, but your mind races. Obviously, from a different state, there's a lot going on back home, family, kids, but just trying to find peace. And that came after time, but that was the hardest part, is just trying to calm down and embrace a little bit of peace when you're so used to just everything going haywire.
All right. Who or what has helped you the most during your recovery?
I couldn't say a who, but I would say who's. Watching a lot of guys that have been doing this, 4 or 5 years, and consistent, steady, and people that just day in day out, they have a lot of integrity. They're the same person behind closed doors that you see in public, and just watching how they move, how they operate, their faith, their prayer life. And it's not really about how much you talk, but it's the way you walk, and following in the
Amen.
footsteps of people that have a strong walk really helped me a lot.
That's right. How has your life changed since getting sober and being healed?
Peace, nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. It hasn't been easy all the time, but not worried about the next drink or the next high, or where you gonna sleep at, or what you're gonna have to eat, or it's I'm not gonna say comfortable, but it's now things are manageable. You go through the emotions and the feelings, and instead of running to drugs or alcohol to cover and mask how you feel, to be able to stand strong with the help of God, obviously, to push through, because feelings ain't facts, and any decision made off of feeling could have a lifetime of regret.
All right. What would you say to someone who is struggling right now?
Don't lose hope. All things are possible through God who strengthens us. It's not going to be easy. Nothing worth doing ever is, but just maintain the course. Start slow. Just if you don't have faith, find a way to start having some. And just one day at a time. If it's 1 second or one breath at a time, just take it slow, and just know that there's going to be bumps. There's going to be some bruises. We may fall down, but you have to keep going. Because if you don't have something to keep fighting for, and sobriety is definitely worth it. So is my salvation. You have to find something, and it really needs to be yourself. You can't do anything for anybody else. It has to be You have to be done, and you have to really be willing to sacrifice a lot of things.
Amen. All right. For anyone watching this video who may be struggling with addiction, or someone who may have a loved one that's struggling with addiction, tell them a little something about NBIC, what it has done for you, and what it can do for them, and what God can do for them through this place.
All right. Well, obviously, if you're watching this video, you or someone you know is following New Beginnings Recovery Center. So I would say first thing would be to reach out to somebody that's in intake, kind of explain what's going on, maybe go through the process of your interview for acceptance. Just be patient. Do what they ask you to do, but just remember that one day at a time. You may not get the answer you want right at that second. You may not be done with what it is you're doing. I mean, God's got a timing on everything in life. But if it's something that you're serious about, reach out. If you cannot be helped here at New Beginnings, they will definitely direct you to somewhere that will. Um, if you don't have Christ in your life, I'm not going to condemn anybody, but it's going to be your choice. God can do things that no man can do. I've tried to play the tough guy role a lot of my life and be the strong man, but there's only so much that we can do. And when it comes to my life and its final destination and everything that's out of my control, I just leave it to somebody I know that is in control. And I'm very patient with things that are given to me when He sees fit for.
Amen. Well, I appreciate your time, Daniel.
Mhm.
Thank you for talking to me.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you have a good evening.
Amen.